another live step-by-step tutorial on drawing with Ferdouse on the Paintology drawing app. As you know, if you've been following my live streams, you will know that I try to complete one complete drawing and show you how you can make an impressive drawing right on your phone. So typically the way I draw is, I'll show you here. This is effectively what I draw with the phone and with the Android Paintology app and using my finger. But lately I've been using more of my stylus, and the reason for that is that because I do a lot of drawings, my hands get a little bit cramped. But you're perfectly fine to use your fingers, and if you want to draw a lot, and it can be addictive once you pick up Paintology, then it might be worth buying a stylus that you can keep with you. You know, you don't have to invest in an expensive stylus. Something cheap from Amazon or eBay, perfectly fine. Yeah. So let's go to the homepage of the app, Paintology app, and I'll show you a drawing that I did yesterday, and I was quite impressed with it. Let's open up this drawing. So let me know what you think of this one. This was on the phone, and I used the block coloring, which is the block coloring is a perfect way to really tune your mind and drawing skills on the tonal values, the tones. See, everything is about tones, the color tones, and trying to pick that up. So what block coloring does is it takes the reference image and picks the exact color of that tone of the reference image, because most of our drawings are based on a reference image of some kind or even a live object, and to create impressive drawings requires taking those tonal values and try and transferring that to your drawing. That's the challenge, and a lot of artists are actually talking about tones now, mixing colors to get the right tones and all that. So the power of the digital medium is that the tones are easily replicated to your drawing, quite very easily. And once you've got a good understanding of tones, you can make freehand drawings such as the ones I do already. And I'm not an artist, so I've learnt all this just by doing. So for example, this was done on my phone, about 40 minutes or less, using appreciation of tones. There's another one here. So you can see my drawings don't have any resemblance to what people would consider, quote, digital art, right? But it's not. The fact that it doesn't appear to be digital art, and not many people will be able to tell what this medium was drawn in. They they won't know unless I tell them. So this is the way I draw on my phone. This was drawing done on my phone. There's plenty of examples. There's one, very first one I did of a photorealistic drawing on my Samsung tablet. This was like long ago, 3-4 years ago. And many drawings I've done. It's a 10-minute drawing here, very easily done. No big deal. Another one on my phone here. Yeah, showing the capabilities once you understand the methods and techniques, which is what I'm going to show you in this live session. Okay, plenty of examples that you don't have to, you can look in the YouTube channels and you'll find it for yourself. Yeah, the YouTube channel that I have. I have two YouTube channels. One is Ferdouse, the other one is Paintology. This is the Paintology channel. So I do pretty much similar things on both channels. So let's pick up a few resources for you to get started first. So I'm gonna go to this. Oh, this is my poetry channel actually. If you want to check it out, I've written quite a number of poetry. Allpoetry.com, Ferdouse / Ferdouse. You can, skills are something that I don't make any noise about it. It's something if people choose to do so, they can. And if people think that there's a magical quality or inherent quality you've to be born with, you know, you're just not, you probably are engaging less with this skill set and talking more about the whole skills that other people are good at. So if you want to really be good at art, I suggest you check out my channels and check out my YouTube channel, particularly the live stream. Okay, so let me show you a couple of resources. This one is the Paintology.com website. I encourage you to go there because there's a lot of information if you're serious about drawing. And if you and the problem is, the majority of you see a lot of people draw, but they're not going to go into any lengths to explain how they made that drawing, especially in a 1 hour session like myself, that I'm going to show you a complete drawing. Just not possible on their part to explain it, but now that we have digital, it's very easy to explain it. So the reason why traditional artists cannot break it down is because there's a lot of thoughts that go through their mind in which direction they should go during the drawing. And that's called the drawing process, which I'm going to go into in some detail. The drawing process is fundamental to drawing, as well as the other parts. In fact, people should include the drawing process as one of the fundamental component in core skills, art skills, and it's not talked about because most people are familiar with traditional drawing, painting, and the process has never been broken down until now, like I have, and through the, the Paintology app. So keep in mind that the Paintology app is not there for you to pick up all the tools you may be familiar with the other drawing app and then diss the app, right, straight away. If you do that, you are tools dependent. You're not developing the core skills of art. And the Paintology app is all about creating the core skills of art. To get to do this drawing session, go down a little bit. You can see that there is the video, and just click on the live streams Google page. Go to that, and then you'll see that there are on 29th to 10 GMT, there's a reference image. So let's open up this reference image, and I'm just simply going to download this image. So you can download any image you wish, right? And then just for the next channel, which is 11:30, the one download him. Oh, I haven't, sorry, to go to the reference image, and then I'm going to download this image. That's the next one you can follow along to after I've finished with this one. So the idea is I'm going to make those complete drawings on the phone through a combination of block coloring, using your eyes, and of course, the fundamental component of drawing, which is tones, which is something you will learn very rapidly when you use block coloring. It's something I invented over a year ago, and also applied it to the Paintology app. So let's go back to our drawing app. Before I do that, I would encourage you to also check out the classroom, the Google Paintology classroom. This is a link you'll find in the description, which is broken down to various, for people who are beginning out. Remember, you're not learning about Paintology, you're learning about the fundamental core skills, the very skills that are taught at the academic level, and also at and if you go to any class, these are the skills that you will be grounded in, and any of these skills you can apply to any other art mediums. Believe me, these skills are going to boost your understanding of art appreciation like never before. And many of you, the people circle around me have said, why am I offering this free? Well, the thing is, I love painting and drawing, and I do it for a passion. I do it with passion, and I want others to enjoy the same similar passion. So therefore, I'm keeping it free for you two guys to use, and eventually I'll probably monetize it. But for right now, just keeping it free, and I do hope that you will give me the support I need by telling your friends, families of this method of learning. If they're into art, they should check this out. So, there will be a lot of naysayers who come here and say it hasn't got this tool and this tool. And like I said earlier, yeah, if you're looking for tools, you're best off sticking to the apps that have all those hundreds of tools and brushes that will but you're gonna hit there's a you're gonna make like immediate progress, but you're gonna hit a ceiling eventually. You're gonna hit the ceiling where you will have not go beyond what the tools can do. And the fact is, I've gone beyond what tools can do. I've already shown you some of the capabilities of drawing, like the way I'm drawing, like such as this example. Can you think for 1 second that this was done digitally? I doubt it. If you can, I'd like to hear some feedback where you think the digital quality is or digital association is. And there's quite a few I've done, and I can show you. There's some nice drawings I've been doing. And I have to tell you something that as I've been doing this on a daily basis, almost religiously now for probably about 1, 2 months now, I have seen myself increase so rapidly that I decided to renew and do a painting that I did very early on just to see how I've improved. So this was a particular drawing. Obviously, it's in the landscape. I can't show it to you. This was a session I did on the Ferdouse channel and yesterday. And then looked at this, and then I looked at the original drawing, and I've realized that I have improved. My acute awareness of tones has increased tremendously. So this could be passed off for a photorealistic, but it was done in one sitting, in probably about 1.5 hours or less. So you can make these impressive drawings, and the drawings are done, as I said, combination of block coloring and all that. And then I've shown you freehand drawing. It launches in your career in freehand drawing, and you're not limited by tools, your imagination. You're only limited by your imagination and creativity, right? Just like in traditional. So let's see if I've got any more. Yeah, there's another one I did. This one, can you see it? This was done on the one of yesterday's, I believe, drawing, or probably a day before. So you can see that how I created, and it was the look of the whole atmosphere, captured the whole atmosphere through block coloring. And then I found out some interesting areas which I've never stumbled across, although I knew about it, is that the color tones that looks like a sky here is our eyes resemble it like a sky, but because the whole threshold of colors are in the upper darker region, let me show you what this actual color that almost looks like blue is. This is the actual color. Can you believe it? This is the actual color. That is the actual color, top left. Can you believe that's blue? That is our eyes are now creating the shades of blue and then making that appear to be a realistic cloud. Can you believe that? And then let me pick another color here. Look at that. That's the white clouds of the region. And yet, what color do we have? Look at that. You cannot tell whether this was the colors in that region. Such an incredible, amazing find for me as well. Because, but these are the things that artists will talk about and have fun with it, saying that this, you know, when they show a dark shadow falling on an object, and then they say which is the color tone, they have a laugh with it. But this is actually showing you an actual drawing. So let's dive in, and I hope I've shown you everything. Let's dive in and pull our drawings. So remember, you can load any kind of drawing you so wish. This is the drawing we're going to do here in one sitting, hopefully in less than an hour. So the first thing is, if you're not familiar with this method of drawing, and you can come here and say, oh, you're not drawing it from freehand, are you? So you're probably the person who likes to watch someone draw something from zero to nothing, you know, to a masterpiece of art from without any aids. And if you are, and you're probably not a practitioner of art, but like to watch, then feel free to go over all my previous YouTube channel where I do freehand drawing, and then you can, you know, enjoy those drawings that I do in QuickTime as well. But those of you who are probably sitting here, and how many of you are there? None yet. Those of you who are sitting and watching my YouTube streams diligently have a deeper desire to learn drawing and painting. Okay, so that's the reason I'm going to show you this. These are for you guys. Okay, so first thing is block coloring. Look at our drawing here. You can see it's a beautiful flower. I forgot the name of the flower. Blue, and then there's a green haze, the background. How we're going to tackle this? Well, I have a pretty good idea. First of all, you need to understand that the background is diffused, and when it's diffused, it means that it's like faded out, like the focal distance is short for the camera that took this picture. I don't know if you know that some of you will have figured out that there's a portrait mode of taking pictures, and what the portrait mode does on your camera is defocuses the back, the rear, and keeps a short focal length, so rear the rear or the background is diffused, such as like shown here. And you can take a lot of pictures in portrait mode like this, but not many people are aware of that. But it makes for a very, very elegant picture, nice picture. I've done it. I've taken photos and I've been into photography, and so I know I can tell you that. So we're going to have to replicate this into our drawing canvas. So the top half is a reference image, and the bottom half is our, let me take that down, there, that's it, is our canvas there. Yeah, so what this means is that we're at the top half, after this midpoint, we can use the color picker to pick these colors that we have. Right, let me go here, color picker, see that color picker picks the colors, the colors, do you see it? Pick the colors that are shown from the reference image. So let's unclick that, and that's what we're going to do. We got a 23%, and what I tend to do is I lay down the principal colors in one go quickly, but you don't have to lay down the principal colors, unlike traditional. Have you noticed traditional artists will first of all lay down the primary colors, one color, and then just gradually fill the whole canvas with a particular color. That's their drawing. That's in their initial drawing step, the first drawing step they would probably do, and then they continue to build up the foreground image, such as this flower, and then they continue to add details, and suddenly they've got a remarkable piece of art. So this is actually the process I'm teaching you here. So we've got a 23%, and we're on the line brush. So the line and the shade brush is the only thing we're going to use. So let's keep that 100%, and then let's just go here and then pick these tones that we see here, and then pick these tones, the color picker, and I'm picking the tones that are in that region. That's all I'm doing. That around the, and I'm always selecting the color picker. And the reason for selecting the color picker is because I can get those. It's not going to be a flat green, right? It's going to be a range of green that I want to get captured in our background when we get to blend it, okay? Sorry to have kept changing the time of this, but I had a medical appointment, and the medical appointment finished so early, so I thought, what am I going to do for 1 hour? So I decided to bring this ahead. So just, check from time to time the schedule that I have, but I've been pretty good with the timing. I've been doing it consistently at about 9:15 GMT for the Paintology, and then 11 GMT for the Ferdouse channel. So in case you're not aware of those changes, I'm here, or follow along. You can follow along to my second one that I'm going to do. So notice what I'm doing here. It's such a big color, but I'm not trying to touch the flowers. I'm still picking the color picker. And then here is what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to reduce that brush size. Come on, this brush is so big, isn't it? Okay, so let's take that down to 10%, right? Half what we had here. And see if we can do these. Even this is quite thick, right? So let's take it down just a tad more, 8%, and let's see if we can, yeah, I think that's good. And capture these flowers in their glorious colors. Right there. I'm not worried about what colors I pick. Remember, when you select the color picker and land in the region, you're picking that tone. So I just usually just go over the tones. And then I'm also acutely aware that there's a tonal change. Like, for example, this is very light, isn't it? And this one is probably darker. This one's dark. So I'm just using blocks of colors, by picking the tones in that region. And look at this color here. That's pretty dark, isn't it? Okay. So we got that. We've managed to pick that color tone to our drawing. That's all we've done. Remember, all the artists, the reason why they can draw so well, it's their appreciation of tones and their ability when it comes to traditional mediums. And I've done traditional medium. That's the reason why I can take some of these concepts and apply it here, is because they can mix those colors. They have a real uncanny ability to mix these colors in oils, pastels, you name it, because they're very, how do you call it? They're master of their tools, right? Whereas a beginner would go and say, no, this is only one color, when mm, and then they don't realize they could mix using these kind of mixing and create the colors that way. But with digital, far easier. Look how easy it is. In fact, I'm much more versatile with digital, even though I'm very competent, very accomplished traditional artists. And the reason being is that the digital has way more versatility, surpasses the traditional pencil and paper. And I'll show you some of these techniques. And then most traditional artists assume that digital is done in a particular way, not the way I'm doing. Yeah. Have I picked any, gone into the tools section yet? Or am I just doing the same thing repetitively, like picking the colors? Just think of this color picker as picking a colored pencil. This one. This one is picking a colored pencil, which is a darker. This one picking another colored pencil. This one picking another. See how it's going? Can you do that in traditional? No, of course not. You won't be able to get that. This is tonal painting and drawing, which is in the purest form of drawing, in my opinion. And they use that in hyperrealism because they're trying to go bit by bit on a big canvas, trying to get the exact tones in these small regions, and then they spend like a month or two in getting the final picture out, and it looks pretty impressive. But you know, in my do I want to do that? Not really. I mean, I'd like to do more drawings than just sit through one for a whole month or so. So there you are. So just keep going with these colors, right? So think of this as a color picker, is picking a color from your ink, from all of your ink colors, and there are thousands of them. You could not possibly buy all the range of pens and tools. And a good artist manages to expand their ability in putting down tones, either by applying pressure when it comes to pencil drawing, just the right pressure to get the right tones. Yeah, it's all about getting the right tones, and this Paintology shows you how really quickly. And look, the fun of drawing. I'm actually a very advanced proficient user of Photoshop, but if you ask me, would I draw like that? I said, why? Why would I use Photoshop for drawing? Just based around tools, you know. And I would use Photoshop if I wanted to make a logo graphics, but not for drawings such as this. And I've used Photoshop for like 20, 30 years, but I never use it for drawing, you know. But people use it for digital art, and they create art that just distinctively looks like digital art, nothing more, right? But I'm more into fine art, and I've applied my fine art skills to digital as well. So why shouldn't I not use the skills I've learnt in traditional and apply it here? So look what we've done there. Let's have a look what we've done so far. Look at that. Lovely, isn't it? This is the kind of thing you're going to see the artist doing. Like, it's exactly the same method. I mean, can you see anything different that I'm doing? No, I'm bringing traditional to the digital because it's way powerful. And if someone comes to me and says digital is way powerful than traditional, I would like to challenge them with drawing like this. Pick a drawing and then know. But I know when it comes to anime, it's quite effective because anime is very much animation, isn't it? Which is perfect rendering of the face, eyes, pupils around, perfectly shaped, curved, perfect rendering of the, it's well suited to that. But in this type of drawings, it falls down, doesn't it? So if you like anime and you can want to do anime all the time, then yeah, feel free to use. I'm not telling you that this is better than the other apps. I don't look at it in terms of, I don't value it based on tool sets. I value it based on the final art pieces that I'll be able to produce from there. That's all. And this is showing you techniques that most digital. Have you noticed I've taken the brush down so I can do some of this detail? Oh, lovely round color. Now look, how many brushes do you think we picked? If I were to lay down all the colors of the green, you will know that I picked like 100 brushes or 100 inks so far, right? And with no mixing of the colors, right? So just do this quickly. Let's see how we're doing for time. Yeah, we're doing well. Just do it quickly. Right, the first thing's laying down this. I'm working with a little bit of speed now because I do need to finish this, yeah? And I don't know how you're doing, but I hope you're following along with me and with this particular image. And you may not be able to catch up and do it at the speed that I'm doing it because I've got skills ahead of you guys because I've been doing it for a short while now, but I can tell you that this can improve your skill sets big time. Okay, so let's do the little branches here. Look, it's a bit dark on that side, so I'm going to take the other light green on the other side. Let's pick that tool there. No big deal. Going really rapidly. There's a part of that branch here. Background. There you are. There. So I find that every time I pick a subject for drawing, I always learn something. So the thing is, you may not have come across this method of drawing, and you may think, oh, God, I'm using up all this effort in drawing manually. Well, that's the reason why you appreciate traditional artists. They do it manually, do they? They don't go and have these microscopic tool sets that help them to do artwork. They do it manually, isn't it? That's the beauty of drawing manually, because you have much higher degree of control over your artwork. And once you get into it, it's really fun. And like I said, I'm not going to use Photoshop. Just go after tool to lay down these colors, and then blending. God knows, I'll show you the blending, and I use a blending tool for that just to fit the artwork. I'm going to use it just to fit the artwork. I want to be free when I'm drawing, and this allows me freedom of expression. The tones that I see, what my eyes can see, just laying them down. So you see that light color there, and then it goes all dark. Look how quickly we've covered. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do after this. That's the beauty of drawing. You never know what kind of techniques you're going to build. And you build these techniques over time, right? And that's what separates good artists, because they've developed these techniques. But these techniques are hard for you to grasp in the traditional medium, but not so much in the digital, because look, I'm telling you what brush size I'm using and how I'm using. I got the trace bar here, and that's all I'm doing. Just doing that, and it's wonderful experience because you're getting lost. You're drawing, you're not doing anything else, just simply drawing. You're doing more drawing and selecting less tools. That's all you're doing. Right, look how quickly we have managed to go through this canvas. That's all it takes. All it takes. Let's see where we are. Wow, we've almost done it, isn't it? So we're gonna now, so let's save this. Always have a habit of saving the work. So in case something happens, you can always come back to it. Did you see what happened? I just was on my canvas and was selecting the white. I'm gonna have them very quickly, nothing. And this, what does this do? This really improves your drawing strokes. And if you're looking for tools to help you correct these drawing strokes, that's the first step towards having a drawing that's going to look digitally enhanced. Yeah, when you use correction tools like, and I'm not using any correction tools, just, so when you start using those tools, believe me, the whole artwork will take on a digital look to it, not natural like I'm doing it. And you know that this is all naturally done, and then you won't be able to tell whether it was done in digitally or just people just can't appreciate digital artwork if it's done this way. I mean, they don't appreciate digital artwork because they believe so look, because they believe it's not artwork at all, which is sad, isn't it? So look. Let's have a look to see if we've done. We're going to do just the left side here. Okay, we're going to do that. And by the way, I do have a prototype app that I'm using right now, but it's no different to the live app. So I'm gonna have to save the work and reopen it because we're doing some tests on the new release of the app that's coming out in a few weeks. And that app is gonna have block coloring like you'll have never seen before. Trust me, it's gonna get you addicted to drawing in block coloring. So we're just testing that. But right now I'm using we're testing some features. So there may be we're testing some memory leaks that are happening with very few devices. This is the part of the development work that you probably don't know, the effort that's put in by so many of these people who bring you these free apps. The effort that's behind it. So you should really keep that in mind, that there's so much effort that goes into digital app creation. You may think, you're probably saying, oh, it's not working like the way it's rubbish app. But you try and, before you, be critical, ask yourself how much effort a designer has put in. App designer, app developer, combination of people. So in addition to this, I spend maybe 20-30% of my development time, programming time, and to push this app. And I also happen to have developers. I can't take on the whole work myself. So let's save this. This is our first step in the drawing. And then I'm going to go back home, and then I'm going to pick it up again from my paintings. That's where all your savings have saved. Then open up the D here. So we have that drawing, and the, yeah. And now I have a free range. I've released the memory. You probably won't understand the jargon I'm using. But anyway, so now we're going to do some of the blending on the background. Look at this. The beautiful background. We're going to diffuse that background. Watch how quickly I do this. I'm going to select this, take the density down about 30%, 10%, and then I'm going to pick the color picker. Remember, I'm on my canvas here, on my canvas entirely. And then I'm just going to blend it like that. Watch, see how I'm doing it. Picking the color picker, and there's a couple of methods of blending, but I'm going to show you this first. A habit of picking that. Pick that color picker, and then just blend it. So what's happening is this 30%, what's happening with this density setting? It's very easy to understand. If you have this at the top 100%, you're not going to get the tones except the tones at the ink level, which is this tone that you see in the green color, right? But if you have here the lower opacity density settings, you're actually creating a set of a brush or a pencil with a gradient on it. So this 30% means you have a gradient type HB pencil, like say 6B, and then you can keep applying the strokes to build up the tone that goes all the way up to here. If you follow, so it's practice. It's just practice makes. If you understand pencil drawing, then you'll know what I mean. So you see how I'm sort of rubbing it in order to diffuse, and I can do that because I am using a lesser density settings, right? Let's say if I were to not set it at 30 and say 100, look what happens if I pick this color. That just goes to the next region. That's not what I want, is it? That color, I just select a 30%. It means that I can diffuse out, and that's a very powerful method. Yeah, and a lot of people will rush to the tools, blending tools, to do something like this, and good luck to you, but it'll take forever blending this. See how I'm blending it? Picking the tones, and then I can have more degree of the shade. See how I blended it? There. Very easy. Right? Very easy. And there are a few methods I've shown. You might have seen a different method. Look how it's already being diffused. Beautifully diffused. The lines are not granular like this. Yeah? Look at that. And this screen here. Blend that. And then the screen. Blend that. And the screen. Look at that. Look how beautifully blended it is. It's not the best blending for the sky blending. I would recommend this using a shade brush, but then you can see some of that going on. So now we got this somehow blended. Now increase the brush, and then let's blend this section here. Okay, this section. Look at that. Beautiful. Right, lovely. And then you just go wherever you feel that it needs blending, right? And then you can decrease it even more for any subtle areas. Anywhere you see this subtle, just anywhere you want to get more degree of control over the blending, okay? There. Okay, so look how we blended that, okay? Now we can apply the blending. So let's save this. This is the blending that we've done on the background, and now the whole focal point is our flowers. So we can, I've saved this, right? So I'm going to save it and open it up again, because remember I told you I'm working with a prototype. You don't have to, the live one is perfectly fine. Right, so let's pick this up, and then let's look at this one. Now, let's be clever. Again, here I'm applying something new. I'm going to use the blending density line brush. We've kept to the line brush. I'm going to take this brush size down because we're working with more details now, right? So let me trial and error, 24%. Right, and I'm going to do this blending here. Okay, try and replicate much of the colors. So I can switch between these left big square buttons on the left and right of the trace bar, allows me to switch rapidly between my drawing and the flower. So let's see if I've got a good brush size, 3%, and then I'm going to pick the color tones and then just put that down, and then I feel that color, the size is still small, and then again pick the color, just blend it. Look at that, beautiful, isn't it? How wonderful is that? And if you're not getting quite the blending you want, increase it. Okay, there. I'm not worried about the edge here, not yet, so we'll do that at the end, but let's get the bulk of the flowers done in this method. Okay, have I got a, I think I have. I need to check to see when is the next class. Excuse me for a second. It escaped my mind already. So let me go here. Go to that. 11:30. We're good. I thought it was at 11. Okay, so here, so just doing. Look at that, beautiful colors. So you can pick the color tones that we had, and then just do that. Okay, and then we'll do it for one flower. Okay, and then see if we got something close to it. Look at the colors changing. You know, these are variation in colors that makes up the whole image. Look at that light color there. So let's do one of the flowers here. Then if you're not getting it, get the right size. Just using it to get the right, just getting the right form and shape. Nothing different. Look at these beautiful colors there, giving that shape. And then if you've got that color, just use it wherever you can, the same colors that you've picked, and then try and work your way. So this is a form of freestyle drawing. Look at that, beautiful. Look at that beautiful tones that's giving that fold in that flower. And then again. Right. And then got this tone here. And then a very light tone is coming out here. And then look at that. It's black here. And then we can take some of that, the dark. Can you see the shape? That's all we're doing, creating that shape. Okay, and then let's do this petal here. Beautiful. And then I've got a light petal here. Don't worry about the edges, we can always fix that. I'm just laying down the body and the shape of, to see if we got it right, you know, close to the drawing that we're doing, close to the original image, right? There, can you see that dark color? There, you can pick it from the color palette. Okay. Let's see if we've got what we've got. See that? We've managed to get those flower tones to something that looks close to it, doesn't it? Look at that. We're basically just using the density setting to refine these drawings, refine it to the color. And then, of course, I want to get those lines that really define this. You know the dark blue lines here? So let's capture this and then just right, look at that, it's giving shape, the light color here. Look at that, beautiful, isn't it? How we're creating detail here. It's all about techniques, nothing about tools. Don't think, oh, how am I going to get this color? If you start thinking about tools, you're really wiring your brain to find tools that will solve all your problems, and that's not the case. It's the reason why you appreciate all these artists that spend so much time learning and perfecting their skills. That's all I'm doing. See that? That's all I'm doing. That blue, lovely blue tone. Capture that blue tone. Take it. Look at that. There. Just capture those blue tones. Look at that lovely color, the white color that forms another leaf. And then we got this blue, and then this lovely white diffused areas here. There. See what I'm doing? I'm picking up more of the balanced tones that are essential to this drawing and giving it shape. I can pick the tone here, right? If I feel there's a tone already there, then pick it up from the look at that, this one, beautiful. There. And you have this luscious blue line with shaping it as well as giving it extra dimension. This is all it is. Nothing new, nothing different, nothing unique, just simple tones. I'm now refining the shape. I said I'd leave it at the end, but I would just want to put that in there for now, and let's see what that looks like. See how the flowers have bloomed and now getting better, and we haven't done the outline yet. So I think we still have time. Let's continue with the bigger flower here. You can see how this is working now, yeah? Hopefully. So if you're having trouble or having difficulty following this, and I don't see where you will have difficulty following this, you can always put it down on the comment section, and then I'll try and help you as much as I can. You've seen that there. So I'm going to change the density a little bit so I can, and if you need to follow that shape, you can keep it still at the midsection, right? And use the reference, right? There, you see what I'm doing? I'm trying to pick that color, and then I'm trying to lay down this color here. Huh? See that? That's all we're doing. Let's get into the detail. This is why the phone is so powerful for being able to draw so realistically. I think I need to bring down the density down because it's quite strong. Okay, here, and pick that color here. It's a blue color there. So just making sure I get the blue. So this is giving shape to the tones. That's all it is. And then here, you can see these tones. And if it's not coming up, take the density. And if you haven't picked the right tone, use the color picker again. And if you feel that it's not giving you the tones you want, you can do that, right? Who's to stop you, right? Nothing to stop you from doing what you want. There's a dark tone there. Alright, just that dark tone, the blue tones there. Okay. And then some of that sparkling blue coming away from behind this. Right. And then it goes to a mid-tone purple. Right. And then it goes to a bit of a light tone, right? Okay. Got it, isn't it? And then what have we got here instead of a blob? Well, we need this dark grey tone. And then it's beautiful blue that's captured here. Right, that's all I'm doing, is I'm applying some of my art skills to this, and that really helps you to develop your skills rapidly. Yeah, creating shape. I can't wait till I get to this little bud there. Can you see it? What a wonderful bud. So I'm going to try and take it down a bit more and take the density, because that bud is, if you're having trouble zooming in, click on the zoom button again. Let's finish this bud. Look at this. So really excellent. So we could just go halfway, just put down the tones really quickly. so rapidly. This helps you improve your skills. Look at that beautiful purple tone. Look at all the tones that are going on here. So all we're doing is trying to shape and you'll see how quickly one can create. Be like shocked. There, can you see there's a black area that we haven't captured here? Right, shape the form there. Let's see if we've managed to capture all that. Let's see. I think we got something there. Look at that. You can make out there's a bud there, right? So we're getting really good at this. So we're going to carry on with this. I'm going to show you just quickly. I mean, let me just save this and then open it up again. Okay. So I should just go then my paintings. Right. Okay, so this is how far we've got. Now let's try and do this little beautiful that hasn't quite opened up. So we've got a small brush, so we could go to the green here, get this done, and then maybe bring the density down, and then I can show you. I mean, that's probably a little too big, so I'll go up a little bit. And then I'm going to bring that down 27%. And then here, look, here, there. And increase it a little bit here. And then here, the green. And then you can see how this quickly you can form this yet to bloom bud. And this beautiful line that goes down there, right? Just capture the essence of it. You don't have to capture the details. I'm going into the green now. Yeah. And got this gray here. Look at that. This is the way the artists render something. If you ever looked at gone to a museum, you'll see that when you get close up to something, it looks quite messy, right? Of a drawing of a great grand piece of art. And then when you go away from it, it all comes together. This is in essence how artists draws to, like, for example, one of the first paintings I did in block coloring was the famous John F. Constable, the Hay Wain. You might have heard of it. And then as I was doing it, I realized that in a way, Constable knew that he didn't have to go into too much of the details of the drawing, just enough, like some of the details of the cart on the swamp, just enough for our eyes to make out that this was a cart, right? And it worked, right? Otherwise, he'd be spending forever finishing that drawing, right? See if I picked up the buds there, and then here, pick up these grey tones, and then you've got some lovely grey tones there, and picking the same color, and then this tone here, and then let's see how it, look at how that has formed. Beautiful, isn't it? Such little effort. So now let's finish the big one, and then I'm hoping that this is gonna give you enough techniques for you to run with this. All right, there, can you see that? There. So you can see what I'm doing. I mean, these are for people who are really seriously interested in art and want to draw impressive art and not just one type of art, the skills they need to build. Right there. See how we created that? Then capture that black bit there. If you don't get that black bit, find a color that will be a good bet there. There, you see? There, see? And then got that lovely luscious blue going across there. And then this purple. Right, just doing enough. This is actually giving you ideas of how I draw, and hopefully you can learn from this and then make truly inspiring creations of your own, right? See that? I got a good setting, I think. Then here, you can see these petals. These petals are forming here. Gotta grab the color. So if it's not the right color, get a lighter one on your palette. This white here, can you see this little dark white? That's all I'm doing. I'm not creating the exact form and shape. You don't have to. This isn't the beauty of nature, is that it's not perfect. Digital art makes it perfect if you're using tools, and it's never natural. And there's a very good question by one person is why does digital art never look natural? And it's because we're using tools. Simple as that. People turn to the tools for everything. And then here, look at that. We can bring out that black here. Right there. Now we got anything of these? Got these little veins that are showing up, isn't it? And it goes here. And then pick something. Look at that color there. That's color that could form the shape of this flower there. Beautiful flower, isn't it? And then look at the colors there, the light color falling on it. That's what we're going to capture. And then capture this blue tone that makes up the rest. That's all there is. That's all I'm doing is, and then you get a really good understanding Oh, let's have a look. Actually, okay. And let's see what it looks like. Look how this shape is now coming into it. You can almost see that now, as I'm going around this larger flower, it's actually taking on a whole new form and shape. That's all it is. Right there. Look at that. It's all about technique. If you could master techniques, yeah, you'll be a very accomplished artist. It's all about techniques. See that? How I'm pulling that? Just trying to capture the essence. Not the full detail, just the essence of it. Meaning I'm not trying to make it look macroscopically perfect. And that's what I told you. That's why I gave you the example of the Haywain by John F. Constable. You go to any museum and look at their drawings or paintings, and you'll see that from close up, like I looked at one of Turner's painting, it's a mishmash of colors, man. They just had the eye for beautiful paintings. Anyone can master that. Anyone can master this method of drawing. It's not magical. Look, I'm doing it right now. 1.7%, 33%. Okay? If you're not able to do this stroke, it means that you're not really following. It's not down to a particular skill set. I mean, it's not down to an inherent skill set that you cannot do. In fact, I've become very good at refining my skill set. Just, I'm quite pleased with that. Now let's see what it looks like. Look at that. It's coming out, this flower, isn't it? I don't know how long I'm going to do this. I'm going to probably need a 10-minute head start on the other channel, and I think I'm going to finish it here. But let me show you just a little bit of tweaking, like this green here. We pick the adjacent green and then just take out these blemishes. All right, pick the adjacent green color, and then we'll have pick that blue, pick that color, take these sort of white areas that we haven't touched. Remember I was telling you not too worried about the edges, and that's because you can always come back to it. Edges of the flowers, I meant. It's looking like a painting now, isn't it? Ah. Look at that, how wonderful that's becoming, isn't it? Just with a little bit of effort and continued effort. So that was actually a drawing step I wanted to tell you, the drawing process. So if you did not come up to this level, had I not arrived at this level in the drawing process, I would not know the next part of it, of the drawing. Like for example, these stems at the below the flower, I would not know how to take it to the next level, right? It's just not possible unless you reach this part of the drawing step. And this is where most of the beginners are completely at a loss to understand. And the reason why they're at a loss to understand is because they don't know the drawing in process involves breaking it into steps and continuing the process journey. To me, that's a real pleasure of drawing, and a lot of people find that extreme satisfaction when they draw, and it's because of this. It's not the final art piece. Final art piece is marveled by most of the viewers of the artwork, but the actual journey of making the drawing is way more pleasurable, and it's probably the reason why a lot of people want to draw in the first place. So hopefully I've shown you a way of improving your drawing skills by focusing on art techniques, not the tools. If you're looking for a tool to help you do something and you don't find it, you're likely to give up, and you're likely to keep your skills at a very low level and not go to this kind of level, that what most people really strive for. So I hope brought you some art techniques, and of course, please by all means post your paintwork or artwork that you followed along with me, and then I can give you some feedback and comments, and hopefully also please subscribe so I can continue this showing you these free live step-by-step tutorials that you're not going to find anywhere, I don't think, especially in the digital medium. So you don't have to have a messy paint work set to do this. You've got your phone and you got your finger or a small stylus and you got the app, and away you go. So until next time, so don't forget, I've got the next one coming up in about 15 minutes on Ferdouse channel, and you might see a link on that in this particular streaming description. If not, I'll add it. I'll add that link so you can go to it and continue our drawing session. But for right now, I'm going to finish off here, and then I will finish this drawing at my own time. Probably spend another half an hour at the most, 15 minutes or half an hour finishing this drawing, and then you can see for yourself what you can accomplish. Okay, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.